Greetings and welcome back to SwitchedtoLinux. It is time once again for the Friday news, and today we're talking about 28 congressional fugitives. That is right. That is right. That is right. So let's go ahead and jump in with the comments. Oh boy, let's see. Bashaholic, greetings, and Mr. Dotham's gonna miss it. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dotham. Q1 Fiend, greetings, Bashaholic. Hello again. Mark Yates, the whole government is corrupt. Yeah, you know, we didn't say anything about corrupt. We were talking about fugitives. Come on, we know where they all are. Let's see. Don't have any use for them anyway, especially after screwing over mom and dad. Now they're screwing over grandmother, even worse. I like that phrase though. Don't have to let go and let gov. That's letting go and letting gov would be a bad thing. Bad thing indeed, indeed. Spider Eyes, weirdos talking to the neighbor over the fence until 1:30. Was he wearing a fishing hat? Is his name Mr. Wilson? Let's see. I'd interact with my neighbors more if I didn't regret every previous time I spoke with them. I've had neighbors like that. I had neighbors out west that they would just look at you and stare with like murderous eyes anytime you walked by. They were weird people. I think I met them one time. Lived next to them for 5 years. It was weird. I wish I had enough neighbors to engage in conversation with. Okay, neighbor's all right, but he's a single father. Yeah, that's down there, yep. Become a good friend. We're talking about the whole everyone is a winner at school and sports day crap. Yeah. Among other things. Yeah, he's probably sick of it. Greetings, Noah. How's it going there, sir? Okay, I know the feeling all too well. Greetings, Joe and Antic Designs. Greetings. KO2610. How's it going there? I made 15,000 subs. I should cross 16,000 actually pretty soon. I'm sitting right now. We're at 15,951. So that's where I'm sitting at right this second. So I don't know. It happened not too long ago. Oh, you want to come up, kitty? All right. There you. Oh. Hello, everyone. I'm out of the box now. Who let the cat out of the box? Oh, yeah. What do you think, buddy? Huh? Alrighty, let's see. Got us mad tonight with all the thunder and lightning with heavy rain. Yep. Frost Stranger, the Frozen Realm, and Lucid Theming. Greetings to you. Alright, let's see. The greetings intensify. Present arms. Greetings. Alright, so excited I just can't hide it. I know. That whole nightly news thing. Only 28? Yeah, well, you know. South Park, that's what people do these days, though. Huh. Carbon Programmer, greetings, and Keegan, hello there. Large Demon, we have been visited by a large demon, people. Greetings, hi, how are you? Eat the fugitives, just eat them. We're on number 2, gotta love it. How's it going? It's going pretty good over here. We had a lunar eclipse a few hours ago. That's pretty cool. Cat was alive when it left the box. Alright, so our topics today, of course, same general topics. Privacy, business, security, and I found one. So we'll get to that one last. You're kind of stick in there to the very end and you'll get to the humorous comedic one. Once again, I'm not going to re-record or re-release them. I just looked everything over and said, you know what, man, this is taking so much time. So what I'm doing is I'm time-stamping them now. So if you watch this on the replay, there will be timestamps in the description down below. Also, don't forget to check out the ways you can help support the channel down below. Full disclosure, there is some Amazon stuff up here, but I do use Amazon. Not only do I have an affiliate link, I shop there, and I also print my books through there. I am actually the publisher, but I do print my books through there, so keep that in mind as we dive on into the news. Anyway, let's go ahead and start in with our privacy news. Well, you ever take an Uber? Well, sometimes they might just live stream your entire ride. This Uber and Lyft driver, he was riding for both. Basically, he would go around, and I think he was in St. Louis, and basically he would go around and he would live stream all of his times on the shift. So, you know, he'd go in there, and there was some little note somewhere on the car indicating that live streaming would happen inside the Uber. He never actually came out and said it, but it doesn't actually matter because Missouri, where he was at, is actually a one-party consent state. That means you only have to have one party, i.e. the guy recording it, knowledgeable about the recording in order to make it legal. So technically, this guy did not run afoul of the law, but it's a little bit public. Particularly, I think there was like, there were a couple famous people in here as well. But he was, I mean, he wasn't hiding anything. He had a Twitter handle, just Smurf, and basically he would live stream anybody that got in his Uber with him. Passengers included children, drunk college students, unwitting public figures such as a local TV reporter, Jerry Cantrell, lead guitarist for the band Alice in Chains. First names and occasionally full names are revealed, homes are shown, passengers have thrown up, kissed, talked trash about relatives and friends, and complained about their bosses in his truck. All while unseen online audience watches, evaluating women's bodies, judging parents, and mocking conversations. So, and he would put it up publicly, hey, doing a live stream around St. Louis area, come check it out. Here's the link to the live stream, and then he would just go ahead and live stream all of his rides through his Uber car. So this is one party consent state. So technically he didn't break the rules, but it's just yet another level of embarrassment that Uber and Lyft did not want to deal with, I guess, in the midst of everything else. So the take-home message for this is very simple. Be careful if you get into an Uber. I mean, don't forget, anytime you call an Uber, somebody clubs a little kitty like this one. You don't want to do that. You know, I mean, in all joking though, I think that these two companies they're bad for our future economy. They're good for their own personal little you know, finances, the directors of it, but they're bad for the world as a whole, particularly since both of these companies are behind the trend of people really wanting people to own less cars and moving us towards a smart city where the corporations literally own anything and we're just pawns in the middle of it all. That's really where they're going, and I've covered that in other places, so we're not going to dwell on that here. But this isn't obviously something that's exclusive to Uber, because a taxi driver could very possibly do the same thing. But you have to be conscientious, whether you're doing an Uber or a Lyft, or whether you're staying at somebody else's house through an Airbnb. You have to be very careful about where you're going, because we are in a progressively more sick world as it goes. And, you know, and honestly, there are a lot of people who do stream, who make it aware that they stream. And it's the general consensus among the people of these companies that if they had made it known, if it was fully consensual, they wouldn't have banned the guy, but they blocked him because of that. Oh boy. Arlo, yet another one of these, monitoring everything through an IoT that will soon be a botnet hacking the Pentagon, I guess. I don't know. Just yet another one of these companies. They have their cameras up here. They got their doorbell, which will even have cameras on those and microphones on the doorbell. Basically, you can get in here and just be like, you know, connect everything over there. Someone rings the doorbell, it sends you a text message. You know, obviously, this isn't super bad of a deal. I mean, I personally have some security cameras set up that when I ran these on outside, I would get an email anytime somebody come up to the door. But the thing is, it didn't go through an app, it didn't go through a company server, and it wasn't some data mining company that was collecting all of that data, because these companies can figure out when you're home, when you're not, etc. On a lot of different things. It's just, don't do these types of things. These perpetually internet-connected smart home devices are dangerous. Not only is there a risk for data collection, there's also a risk for hacking. These tend to be radically insecure, and we find out that they're used in these major DDoS attacks. And on to our fun story for the night. So I talked about, and now they actually, ACLU here, spell this wrong. This is Rekognition with a K. Not a C. This is the product, and I talked about this in the past. Remember that Amazon has this this facial recognition system that they are selling off to mostly law enforcement agents. So they're selling it off, and basically you can feed this thing a whole bunch of photos and it can do really quick facial ID of anybody that is in there. Well, ACLU is looking into this because they took basically all of the public domain pictures of all of the members of Congress and found that 28 of them were falsely matched with mugshots. So maybe there's some truth in what Amazon's doing here. I mean, we can look at these guys. I kind of like to see the congressman set aside to the mugshot that he appropriately matched. I would like to see that. It'd be interesting to see, are these real lookalikes? Because they're calling this out, and I think this is still a bad thing, but I'd really like to see how off were these matches. Obviously, the biggest thing with facial recognition has generally been people of color. We clearly see that's not the case. I mean, there looks like there's more white in here than there's any other color, for sure. Maybe that's a reflection of our Congress. I don't know. The cat's hair is just like getting everywhere. Hey, kitty. You need to stop shedding, dude. I didn't brush him down yet today. Woo! And no, I'm not allergic to cats. It's just there's physical hair. My apologies. All right. So ACLU's coming down and looking at this and raising questions. It's like, of course, now that Congress is involved, something is actually going to happen with all of this for sure. But this is just kind of an interesting story, and why I think all of this fast pushing towards these types of things is just a dangerous precedent. It really is. We need to stop with all this data collection. We need to stop with all of this facial recognition, and Amazon needs to stop pushing this thing to law enforcement. But the story doesn't end there, because Ars Technica did a following on this where they actually kind of asked things. And of course, Senator Markey and others ask Amazon to show how it tests recognition for racial bias. Well, clearly, guys, look at these pictures. This is not a matter of racial bias. This is just a matter of really bad facial ID. This is kind of like UK's facial ID that actually seems to have this like 2% positive ID rate. And they're like, but we're going to keep using it because this is what the public wants for their safety and security. No, it doesn't. Trust me, it doesn't. All right. But anyway, the senators are asking, hey, how racially biased is this recognition thing? All right. So this is a neat article. So let's go ahead and flip through some of this. So ACLU is talking about this. That's the article we just looked at. They're looking through the Rekognition product, which is an Amazon product that is, they took it down. That's exciting, unless they just took down the tag. Amazon took it down. That's funny. But anyway, Rekognition is a facial ID system that is being heavily marketed to law enforcement. The idea is you could put something up and this thing can process tons of images at a time. I don't remember what the number is. Okay, so they ask a few questions. We request an immediate meeting with you to discuss how to address the defects of this technology in order to prevent inaccurate outcomes. See, here's the problem. Now that Congress is involved, do you know that it is illegal to go into a movie store and get anybody else's video rental history? Likewise, it's also illegal to get anybody's library card history. Because it was an embarrassment for politicians going in and getting smutty films and taking them home, and someone exposed it, and so laws were passed to protect that. Because Congress passes laws to protect themselves, not us little people down here. So now that Congress is involved, maybe that's why Rekognition is down, or they just had a bad link. I don't know. So I want to search that, see if Rekognition is still online somewhere. I'm not going to do an internet search for it now. So this is these are some of the specific things. Please describe in detail how Amazon tests for facial recognition accuracy, how often Amazon tests, and whether these results have been independently verified. Please also describe in detail show Amazon tests for bias in its facial recognition results, especially racial bias. Please provide a list of all law enforcement or intelligence agencies that 1. Amazon has contacted or otherwise communication regarding acquisition of Rekognition, and 2. currently use the Rekognition service. In addition to a response to this letter, we encourage Amazon to include a list of government Rekognition customers in its next transparency report. So Amazon, of course, did not respond to Ars's questions as to whether Bezos or any other company executive would be meeting these concerns. Another legislator who was not among those said this is exactly what Keith Ellison and I warned about. Also, why I remain extremely concerned that Amazon's Rekognition further exasperates issues in racial. God, why are you guys talking about racial bias? There's no racial bias. Look at all the white guys in this. Look at all the white. This is not racial bias. Okay, white guy, white guy, white guy. This is not racial bias. There's a couple, like, 1, 2, 3. I see, like, 3 confirmed black guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 or so Hispanic-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Clearly Anglo-Saxon, white as flower dyes on here. This is not racial bias. People, can we please stop using the race card? Stop using the race card. This is not racial bias. This is just a bad idea. Stop with the facial recognition. Stop with it all. Stop all of this crap. We need to slow down with this technology. Stop putting it into the public space. Stop putting it everywhere. We need to stop with this. Stop with this. It's not racial biasing right here. It's just a bad idea. Their system simply flagged a whole lot of people because it's a poor system, and they're using that. They're selling it to law enforcement who are targeting people who have no other power. Then the police force comes in, brutalizes them in because of facial recognition, falsely flagged them as a wanted fugitive, and then you have to sit there for 3 days in a jail cell trying to convince them that you actually are who you say you are. Amazon, stop this stuff. And while you're at it, why don't you stop your commitments to the Department of Defense and all of those other government officials? We need to stop. But going on, Jacob Snow, an attorney with the ACLU, said in his own statement, in addition to remaining silent on these very real concerns that members of Congress and community groups and Amazon's own employees, shareholders, consumers have raised repeatedly, Amazon is acknowledging that Rekognition, a product that aggressively markets to law enforcement, can and will misidentify people by default. That's downright dangerous, and there's more. We know from our tests that Amazon makes no effort to ask users what they are using Rekognition for. Instead, Rekognition sets one default, the same 80% we used in running our test. We also know that Amazon's website right now shows the use of an 80% confidence for recognizing human faces. It shows that Amazon is recommending an 80% confidence score in the face-based user verification. If an 80% threshold is not appropriate for identifying individuals with reasonable level of uncertainty, why is Amazon highlighting that confidence level for recognizing human faces? So on Thursday afternoon, Jesse Frund, an Amazon spokesperson, hey, look, a liar's going to talk. How do we know? It's a PR agent, and they're talking. You can tell they're lying if their lips move. He contacted Ars to say our earlier reporting on the ACL report was inaccurate. However, he declined to explain further without going on background, which we declined. Hey, good for you, Ars. That's inaccurate. You need to take it down. Okay, tell us what really happened. We're not going to tell you. Okay, we're leaving it the same. Well played, Ars. Well played. He also did not explain why he would not speak on the record. Oh, that is rich. Well, do you guys remember the exciting selfish ledger we talked about Google the other day? Not the other day. It was probably about a month or two ago. Selfish ledger comes out, and it's basically this internal thing. It was never supposed to come out into the regular world. And what this thing basically did is the selfish ledger kind of became this self-learning AI system, which created its own goals or the goals of its corporate master overlord, whatever it happens to be. And then what it would do is it would start to suggest things based upon the goals it needed to be done, knowing that if it suggests enough things to you, you would probably do it. Well, that was a very scary thing. And this is a very scary article, because Google search will now recommend events based on your interests. This is exactly what they are doing in that selfish ledger. Exactly. They're figuring out what interests you, and then now they're showing it events. All they need to do now is toggle one more thing. Show them things that interest them and help us achieve our collective Borg-like goal. All right? So Google search will now recommend events based on your interest. No, stop, Google, stop. Basically, they're just, you put in some type of search. If it detects that you're interested in something, it just starts giving you information. There's a For You tab that should deliver events based upon your personal interests, like categories like running, cooking, and photography. Google has provided tools for organizers to mark up their event listings, so you should see big happenings, but also smaller meetups happening in your neighborhood, like a local dance class. All right, there is a good solution to this. Stop using so many Google services for everything. There are search engines that are very good that are not Google. Think about using those, people. Think about using those. Oh, boy. And to top up our privacy and data collection section, law enforcement is requesting more and more digital evidence from tech companies. So whenever a law enforcement agency asks a technology company, generally 80% of those requests are fulfilled. So Microsoft says there's 80 different, 100 people that we want this data from. They'll come back and say, we don't know about those 20 of them, but we'll give you the other 80. Well, the thing is that the percentage of approved requests stays the same, but the number of requests is going up. So law enforcement agencies made over 130,000 requests to access digital evidence from the 6 largest tech companies in the world, and over 80% of those are granted. Requests are sent to Facebook, Twitter, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Oath, Verizon's media vertical. Telecommunication companies like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T were also probed to identify users and provide location data and communications content by law enforcement over 50,000 times last year. So 110 from 2016, 96,000 from 2015. So this number is going way up, and this is why you need to stop using these types of services. And it's not that you're doing something wrong. It's that, no. If you're not using these services, or you're not using these services much, then there's really no information to be handed over if they're looking for you. And sometimes they're looking for you on false pretenses. I mean, I went to the grocery store at midnight tonight, and there was some hit-and-run car accident 3 blocks in the grocery store at 11:50. Let's probe everybody's cell phone location. Now, the government did come out, or the Supreme Court did come out a couple weeks ago and said, yeah, you can't just willy-nilly collect data like that. But they can fill out their requests to get it. And, if you don't have that type of data, it's probably better not there. So that's my take on the privacy news. What do you guys think? All right, let's see what we got here. All right. I think I've been through some of these. Okay. So the cat was alive when it left the box. That's right. Yeah, okay. How do you stay positive despite being in a world that promotes the destruction of rights by companies and perversion? James, chapter 5. Come now, you rich, weep and howl for the misery which is coming upon you. Your gold and silver have rusted and become moth-eaten, and will become a witness against you in the end days. God's in charge. All these all-powerful corporate CEOs are a squashed bug on the bottom of God's shoe, and I'm one of God's children. They can do whatever they want to me. I don't care. Want to learn more about that? Check out my channel, Our Walk in Christ. I do a lot more on that. I keep this topic focused on Christ and faith. So that's this channel focused on tech, that channel on Christ and faith. So check out my channel, Our Walk in Christ, and ourwalkinchrist.com for more information about that. But that's how I stay positive. God's in charge. I'm okay. There's nothing he's going to do. Remember, Paul even says, 1 Corinthians, what is able to separate us? Nothing. Facebook can try. They ain't going to. How's Linux treating me, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master? Linux is treating me wonderful. Do so by staying away from the big four as much as possible. Google, MS, Facebook, and Apple. Yeah. Feel more unhappy since I fully understood reality. Just place your trust in God, man. It'll be fine. Or stay away from half of those 4 companies, yeah. Okay. God, no, we cannot club kitties. That's right. Don't club the kitties. No kitty clubbing. Greetings, pizza. LJ, it's been a while, man. How's it going? Eric Defoe, how do we stop big tech and big government? Deeply loathe the mainstream culture of our world. Orwell, 1984 was a warning, not a guide. Amen to that. I've been significantly unhappy since I found out about the marketers and data miners. Don't let it worry you, man. Don't let it worry you. What about smart clothing? Oh, we'll talk about that on a special tinfoil hat time, man. David Kovacs just bought me $27 off my Amazon wishlist. All right. Thanks, man. Very, very cool. Very cool. Every time I think of Europe and the normie culture. God, no, I don't want smart clothes. When they sense your belt getting tight, they bar your purchase of pizza. Saying you wish you didn't want to find out about anything? Well, Pet hair and computers. Yep, needless to say, I do keep things pretty clean around here, though. Okay, also running Android is my main OS on my laptop. I really like it. It works like a charm. Big thing is, how do we stop all this BS? We really don't. It's going to have to implode on itself. Patriot Act is BS? Yes, it is. Can you imagine AI as a legal prosecutor? Oh, God. All of this info is available to every American, but we're ignorant because they want convenience and censorship. Yeah. Patriot Act is unpatriotic. Yep. The fire screen. Yep. I went on fire. Fire. Gonna have to grab an extinguisher. I agree because I never received my white privilege. I haven't either, man. Greetings, Kenny. How are you? And Clint, greetings. No brakes on the technology train. Sick and tired of seeing the news warn me all the time about pedos attacking young people. Wow. Catch a breath, man. All right. Please don't start a forest fire. I might not go on vacation because there's a forest fire where my grandparents live. Uh-oh. Mainstream culture are too ignorant to see this will become the surviving minority. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing. I got nothing to hide. Yeah, you do. Wait till we get to our security part of the news today. Then you'll figure out how much you have to hide. All right. Long last, back, it looks better than ever. Yes, it looks better than ever. I took some time to put the fire screen looking pretty good. I'm kind of happy with the way it looks, too. I wanted to put maybe something in front of me as well. I'll think about it, so I'm more completely engulfed. We'll see what I can do. Greetings, Noah. All right. Seeing where Europe is going, I'd rather visit Asia any day now. How about Antarctica? Antarctica sounds nice this time of the year. 8% not good. 20% fail rate is huge. Okay. I'm sick and tired of having to worry about protecting myself from pedos and sickos. Don't worry about it. Anthony, I'll need your help to keep Linux Mint from going to the lock screen. Laptop staying on with the laptop lid closed. Go into your settings, power management, and there is extra options. Maybe switch the suspend when inactive to never. See if the settings in there will do it for you. If not, I'll have to look up a little bit more, but give those a try. So go into settings and power management. There are opt-out of Google extensions in Chrome, Chromium. Yeah, I really want to trust Google's Chrome browser to give me an extension to block Google. It might block me knowing what Google is collecting. China, South Korea. Rex the Linux guy, hello and greetings, Spin Viking. It's a smart spying, it's never enough. Seen that fire on the TV news this morning. I hope they get it under control soon. Yeah. The fire on my screen. All right. No, the forest fire where Pizza's grandparents live. Being Christian means taking a stand against these companies too, though. Yep. I rather want India to become the Asian superpower than our enemy China. Facebook changes a person's brain chemistry. Yes, it does. Essentially the same being on as God says, do not be drunk on wine, but be drunk on the Holy Spirit. Amen to that. Google search changes a person's brain chemistry. It could. For sure. Another channel, another time, another day. Stress coding, nice. We all chose the red pill. Greetings, Anna Rita, how are you? Got home, put on pajamas, watching Tom. Hi, Anna Rita, where's my digital girl? Okay. Yeah, you missed the fire. Should I show Anna Rita the new fire screen? I'll show Anna Rita the new fire screen. Here's the new fire screen, Anna. Here's the new fire screen. What do you think? You like it? Gotta scream and yell. Does anyone know a screen recorder for Android that doesn't have a watermark? I don't. Live your life, don't live in fear. Amen to that. That is correct. First time I got someone a gift from Amazon, it showed me one other person other than myself at checkout. Huh, cool. Install caffeine. Caffeine? Really? Caffeine? Yay, caffeine. Yeah, there is caffeine. Caffeine to install would prevent a screensaver from kicking on as well. I'm not sure if that would impact the lid closing, though. I just don't know. Ooh, it has Windows 10. Well, you can wipe Windows 10 off of that. I mean, that's cool. Okay, thoughts onboard CPU control. Most hardware, we don't know code and purpose, can be disabled. Love the new fire screen. Thank you. Very cool. Voco screen, no watermarks. Fire screen looks like you were in hell. That's kind of what I was going for. All right. We hit the bottom of the comments. Woohoo! Now let's jump on to business news. All right. Fire just value. Have you never seen the fire screen, Daniel? The fire screen is something that I had before the computer melted down the first time. Maybe the fire caused it. And I never got a chance to rebuild the screen, but then I got it rebuilt, and I'm actually really pleased with how it looks. I put it on like 2 weeks ago, but last week I didn't find anything worth going on fire for. I wanted to save it for a special time. So, you know. Oh, yeah, if there is power settings, like I couldn't see if there's extra power settings for laptops because I'm on a desktop. So I think I'm going to be addicted to caffeine because caffeine addiction runs down my family. I drink a lot of black tea, so pretty much already addicted. I was teasing the devil with a new fire screen. Well, he can't touch me. I know that for sure. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to our business news. Of course, I call business news corporatocracy. Because, yeah, the corporates are running the world. So, number one, of course, this is just a warning to all of those on-app payment systems. Like, I remember I switched all my bank accounts over to a different company, and they absolutely wanted a phone number in there for, like, text message or security code. I'm like, that is the most insecure way you can possibly do it. So, actually, it's a small enough bank. I had their IT guy actually disable that for my account. So, if someone were to steal my phone number because Equihack's probably already leaked it, you couldn't use two-factor authentication to get into my system if you'd stolen it. He's like, well, there's a big downside to this. You can't use your text messages to send money. I'm like, good, sign me up. I don't want to accidentally send some moron $20. Well, they wouldn't be a moron if they're on my contact list. I don't want to send some friend of mine $20 because they're like, hey, what do you think about this deal? I don't know. That's $20 somewhere else, and ooh, you transferred $20. I know it's not that easy, but we have no real need to be sitting here texting our friends to transfer money from one account to the other. What are we asking for? The most vulnerable security system in the history of the world? But Snapchat had Snap Cash, and it's shutting that down, forfeiting it over to another one. So yeah, there you go. August 30th, there's the last amount of money you're going to be using. So, oh, bummer. I can't no longer send money with a text message through Snapchat. Was this a thing? Were people doing this? I don't know. Maybe I'm just way too out of the loop. On to bigger and brighter news. So, Juul users sue them for getting them addicted to nicotine. Check, please. I want out of the human race. Greetings, DistroTube. How's it going there? I just... Huh? So, okay. So, you're a user of an e-cigarette, and now you want to sue the company for addicting you to nicotine. Have functioning brains much? I mean... I think it's a big problem to have way too much ready access to all this kind of stuff, and it's way too easy for kids to get their hands on it. But man, if you're an adult and you want to vape away, man. Just don't do it very close in my vicinity, so I'm not inhaling your nicotine. But this is not Juul's user, probably. Now, of course, if you remember, of course, nicotine, in cigarettes, cigarettes, nicotine, more nicotine is added. And of course, all of the tobacco muggles were out there, muggles, that's from Harry Potter. Muggles were at Congress, testifying before Congress. I don't believe nicotine is actually addictive. I don't believe nicotine is actually addictive. I don't believe nicotine is actually addictive. It's actually kind of funny. You can find the video clip of it. It's quite hilarious. But of course, the companies do unscrupulous things, and basically what they're saying is that e-cigarettes were pushed way too much. They didn't have as much regulation as usual. People started to use them because it was the cool thing to do, and then they got addicted to nicotine, and now they're suing the companies over it. I have to side with the company on this one. I don't know. Now, I mean... The good thing about e-cigarettes, though, is that you can get different nicotine levels in them. So if you find you're addicted to nicotine, I got an idea for you, kiddo. Why don't you start weaning yourself off of the nicotine, and then you'll just be stuck with the bad habit. Okay? But you can wean yourself off of nicotine utilizing these. I mean, it's a slow wean, kind of like how you get off of narcotics. But yeah, I'm not siding with the people on this. I'm not saying evil company, you put nicotine in there and addicted the world. It's an e-cigarette. What were you expecting to happen? Really? Good news on the patent troll front. If you remember the Allegren patents where they kept on pushing things off, and eventually they sold this patent to a Native American tribe because basically sovereign immunity type stuff. Well, the court finally came down and said, no, Native American cannot be sovereign to shield a patent review. Good. Maybe there is some intelligence going on in our court systems. It might be feeling hard to find. I mean, the neurons fire occasionally, though. So basically, they rejected the claim that a Native American tribe could have sovereign immunity. So it basically would prevent a loophole from these big companies getting the patents and then selling them to Native American tribes to keep them in sovereign immunity. So good news. That's actually pretty good. So maybe this lawsuit that's been going on forever will finally go through and the poor people who had to suffer will get their $20 or whatever. Oh, and this one. Oh, this one hurt my heart. VLC is a good open source program, but it's blacklisting Huawei devices because of negative reviews. Oh, VLC, this is not going to go well for you. This is not going to go well for you at all. You have just told the internet, VLC, we don't want bad reviews. Get ready for the bad reviews. Cardinal sin of the internet. Do not tell the internet not to do something. Internet, don't send me money. Internet, do not send me money. Don't do it. Don't. I don't want it. So anyway, the story here is that the Huawei device actually kills background apps, which is probably a good thing. Although maybe not. This is one of the things that early iOS devices suffered from. So my very first smartphone was a Casio Commando, and it had very nice built-in like pedometer tools. And I really liked the fact that I could throw that thing in my pocket and take a walk and know about how many steps and whatever I went. Of course, before I knew about all this GPS tracking, all this other fun stuff. But then when I got my first iPhone, that was really an app I had to let go of. The only pedometers that were available on iOS you had to be actively using at the time. Because Android allows background apps to run and iOS, at least at that time, did not. I'm not sure if they still have that same type of model or not. But Huawei is kind of pretty much blocking background apps. And that's basically making VLC stop after a period of time. And so users are starting to blame the app rather not knowing that it's actually their phone that is doing it. So VLC is going to respond by blacklisting the app. So let's see. So I'm not seeing a lot of bad reviews here. I mean, I think VLC is interesting in that why it worked. Thanks, man. Appreciate the super chat, man. It worked. That's right. See, I told somebody not to give me money, and someone gave me money. It's awesome. Thanks. All right. So here's the funny thing about VLC. VLC on an Apple device, I can attach it to a network, and I can hit the button, and it will actually download it onto my phone. You can't download music from an Open Media Vault on an Android device. You can't do it. I don't know why. It's just beyond silly. It really is beyond silly. So transferring music files from my own system is easier on an iPhone than it is on an Android because I can do it wirelessly through VLC. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, VLC. You have just trolled a bunch of people. No, that's not for all Huawei models, just the most recent one. You can always download the APK from the website. So they just blocked it, I guess, from the store. So that was kind of interesting. And then, of course, on the topic that we talked about earlier, we talked about the earlier topic of how Uber and Lyft are kind of getting people away from wanting to own cars. Well, GM, now it wants to reduce the number of cars out there, realizing that people will in the future potentially buy less cars by having its customers basically producing a subscription service or a relay or something where you can rent your car to another person. Oh, God, this is a bad idea. Like, there's a George Carlin scene, you know, driving behind somebody. He's driving so slow, you just wish you were in the rental car so you could just ram into the guy multiple times, pay your $50 deductible, and be done with it. Okay, that's how people treat rental cars. People do not treat rental cars well. They beat the tar out of them. They do stupid stuff. They see how far they can hydroplane across a pothole on a dirt road in a rental car. So General Motors wants its customers to start renting their cars to other people. Airbnb for cars. No. Not only is it going to increase the chance of your car will not make it too long personally, it's also going to greatly increase the amount of lunatic drivers on the road. No idea what's going on here. Car owners ain't what it used to be. Despite more people buying cars than ever before, the big auto companies are experimenting with alternative ownership models under the assumption their sales will drop in the future. So basically, they're just trying to say, hey, you get in here, so $7.25 an hour or $80 a day for a cruise, you know, on up for Camaros, you know, yeah, I got $225. Just imagine some poor guy gets his check in, doesn't know how to manage his money. He worked all week at some burger flipping place, gets his $200 thing, so he ends up renting a Camaro for the day to look cool. So bad. This is so bad. So it also covers $1 million in liability insurance, including collision. So, I mean, I guess the cars are insured by GM, so maybe that's okay. But I don't know. I have a turry feeling about this one. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Is that interesting? Wow. Thank you, Mr. GFY. It worked twice. Yeah. All right. Okay, there'll come a time when big tech and gov will become so corrupt that people will want to become independent. They'll come to us. That's right. And then we will be able to sign their life over to us. Oh, I ran out of water. My water bottle's empty. Bummer. How are you supposed to live your life when you know about the dystopian world we're headed into? Nod your head and smile. Other laptop has a load of 7.04, making DistroTube's ISO. Cool. Greetings there, DistroTube. How's it going, man? Snap cash. What happened to a money order? Yeah, all of the Nigerian princes took the money orders. Generation is brain dead. I don't know. What is SMH? Do I even want to know? Okay. Hackers should be able to hijack the transaction and make money from any of their future transactions. Yeah. Libs and Shrinkabit, NVIDIA, ODB, Libre, Kdenlive, OBS, VBox are all installed and working. Very good. How does that work? Like the texting or the texting money? Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing. I think you can do it through PayPal now and stuff too. Yeah, Facebook has it. If I smoke Marlboro cigs, I can't sue Marlboro. So dumb, yeah. You should sue the entertainment industry for addicting and ruining the lives of young children. There you go. Let's sue Facebook. Everybody, let's have the largest ever class action lawsuit. 2 billion people suing Facebook. Wouldn't that be awesome? Talk about a moral majority. Show me name and address. Show me another name with no address to send the item to. Do you want me to post a name on your YouTube and you can delete it? Well, VLC, yeah. I wouldn't stop using VLC over that. It's just a funny thing to do. They instead rather improve their software to prevent negative reviews. The problem with VLC with this case is it wasn't a matter of their software. It's a matter of how the phone handles background data. Just a test. Yes, it worked. All right. Okay, not stopping using VLC. That thing plays anything I throw at it. Yep. Yes, and thank you again, Mr. GFY. The blacklisting, they should show a warning about it. To disable, suspend when lid is closed, edit system, etc systemd, login, conf, make sure there is handle lid switch. Ignore, then reboot. Oh, equals ignore and reboot. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for that, Rex. I appreciate that. That's there, whoever was asking about how to disable the computer shutting down or going to sleep or turning off the screen when the lid closes. Systemd handles everything. Came off cigarettes 8 years ago and weaned myself off the nicotine. I now just have the habit. Okay, if getting money is that easy, then internet send me money. Hey, it's just like those crazy televangelists. God's gonna bless you. Send me $10,000 of your seed money, and I promise you, God's gonna send you $100,000 back. I just want to call up those ministries someday and say, I want God to bless you this month. Would you send me $1 million? Rental cars equals burnouts and donuts. Yeah. I've paid perfectly good money to treat my rental cars like garbage. Mark Twain. Quitting tobacco is easy. I do it several times a day. Yep. When Johnny Knoxville rented a car in JA2. Yep. Rental cars are the fastest cars on the planet. Here's to all the fugitives. GM will have to pay for insurance. Yep. Heard it for Demolition Derby. That was great. Lunar eclipse night in 12 minutes. Huh. Anyone got a fugitive on them? UK has become Airstrip 1. Yes, it has. I don't know if I'm able to see the moon where I'm at. Let me go check. Hey, kitty. Here. Lay on the desk for a minute. I'll be right back. No, and I should have known that. I mean, that's the other half of the house, so. Not a hacker, but I'd rely on Facebook to process the transaction. I wouldn't rely on them. Yeah. Greetings. Welcome back, Noah. Cyberbullying got its start because the platform it has a lot to do with. Yep. Thoughts on Facebook stock sellout? Yeah, poor Mark Zuckerberg. We should all start playing violins for him. He lost like billions, man. Billions. I hope it dies all the way, to be perfectly honest, but I don't know. So you have real witnesses. I'm sure most have been affected by it. No kid deserves to be cyberbullied. That's just total invasion of space, privacy, and security. Yep. And we should take any like why is cyberbullying even a problematic thing? Okay, it is written on the internet in erasable ink. Find the cyberbullies and string them up in town square for a while and let people come by and whap them with sticks. Come on, man. That's what you do with cyberbullying. This is not exactly hard stuff to figure out. Very welcome. Great content. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, I think Facebook will become a vacuum and other tech giants will only become boomers and X-gens keeping Facebook alive. Yeah. Facebook is the biggest one-day stock value in history? Yes. Yes, they did. All because they were... I think they were 200 million users off of their projected users. They only grew 11% instead of 11.5% or something like that. I don't know. I think Quakers maybe were right. They had no leader, no pope, no king, no preacher, just themselves as witness. It's true. Couldn't tune in. Phone was messing up, and it will get erased tomorrow. Oh, man. Okay. Hope he goes broke. Yeah, good luck. He should go, but I don't know. Been cyberbullied, but I just blocked them. Yeah. Got trouble at school because he went to the same school. I think they lost more than the entire Great Depression one day. Bullies are narcissistic people. Run away from them. Yep, I agree. I agree. All right, I think our next section of news is on security. So let's go ahead and jump on over and see what's in the mind for security type stuff. Which article is this? I got to close that one out. All right. So first is that Bluetooth debacle. So there's a major Bluetooth flaw that basically allows hackers to steal data that's passing between devices. The only way to fix this is if one of the two connected devices is secured with the latest patches, it will resolve this issue. So that basically means everything is vulnerable, because if you think something like a Bluetooth headset, which I have in the other room, if you think a Bluetooth headset's ever going to get a firmware update, you got another thing coming. And our Android devices, iPhone devices, yeah, they may or may not. The funniest thing about this is in the article that comes down and it's talking about the different things, and you know, all like Mac OS, like everything from Mac, Android, LG, Huawei have already received their updates. So those have already received all of their updates. So those things, as long as you're pushing updates, you have updates on those things. I love this statement. Listen to this. The FAQ researchers said Bluetooth from Microsoft, quote, implements an old version of the standard, which is even less secure rather than the broken contemporary standard. So this super secret Windows 10 for security, it's implementing a version of Bluetooth that is so old it's not even secureable. You know, as far as Windows is concerned, trying to be the most secure operating system, I got news, you know. They're sitting here, we have patched everything. We've even locked down everything so you can't even install anything on your computer. But they left the garage door wide open. This is like locking all your doors, locking all your windows, and forgetting that your garage door is wide open all night long. Yay, Microsoft. You guys are on the ball. But we're going to learn what they're doing soon. In fact, why not? You know, we already talked about Microsoft. Let's just go ahead and go to the next story here. Windows 10 is now doing another update to how they're doing their updates. Isn't this awesome? They're putting AI into their machine to figure out the best time to update. That's right. That's right. Your Windows 10 is now using machine learning to stop updates installing when a PC is in use. So they tried this with a snooze feature. They kind of, we heard you, and to alleviate the pain, we've updated the, we have an update pending that we've updated our reboot logic to use a new systems, more adaptive and proactive. Okay, it is a highly trained AI predictive model. It will accurately predict the best time to restart the device thanks to machine learning. Quote, we will not only check if you are currently using your device before you restart, we will also try to predict if you have just left the device to grab a cup of coffee and will return shortly. So Microsoft's now going to be collecting a whole lot of usage data so that we can, like, they know when we're just out for a minute versus just out for a couple hours. Okay, Microsoft, if you'd like to prevent this problem, it's very simple. Give us the choice when to install updates. I know that's contradictory to your model of collecting everything and always making sure that all of those security and privacy settings are reset to your defaults so you can collect maximum amount of data, but please, would you please allow us to take control of our own devices that we bought? If you sent me that computer, you do with it what you want. It's a free gift, whatever. I bought my computer. I should be able to do what I want with it, and that's why I run Linux. Thank you very little. Oh, boy. On to the reason why I really don't use extensions. People are like, what extensions do you use? Do you use this extension, that extension? No, because there's too many extensions that are simply malware, people. So here we have our Big Star Labs spyware campaign. So this is one company that pushed out a whole lot of different spyware applications, eventually affecting 11 million people through browser extensions and apps. So this was basically a follow-up to a different campaign that they found out. There was even another application a while back that was flagged. They found it's all the same company. So basically what they're doing is they are implementing these devices which are spying and collecting users' browser data and a whole lot of other information that they're saying is not necessarily personal information, but in reality it is. So here's BlockSite. So the Android app has 100,000 installs, 1.4 million Chrome extension users, 111,000 Firefox users. This site here is collecting your data and sending it back to a company who is turning around and wholesale selling it to whoever has the cash in hand. AdBlock Prime. Again, this is why I do not use these services, people. You want to block stuff? Put a host file on your computer, or use reputable ones. Obviously, uBlock Origin is the recommended. Privacy Badger's recommended. Even those, though, I don't use them. It's too easy to circumvent. Oh, Mobile Health Club apps. So there's some Mobile Health Club apps were in there. Other popular Android utilities: Speed Booster, Battery Saver, AppLock, Privacy Protector, CleanDroid. I mean, those together is 2.5 million installs. Pop-up Blocker, which has 2.3 million Chrome users and 50,000 Firefox users. CRX Mouse, I'm not sure what that is, which is 400,000 people use it. These are all one company under the brand name Big Star Labs that are collecting data and selling it. Now, they say, well, it's non-personal or anonymized data, but the reality is, and they use, here's one example, your Twitter Analytics, your username in Twitter Analytics is in the URL that they're collecting. They've also found that with better than 50% accuracy, you can look at lists of various links and de-anonymize people based on public social media posts. So here they're kind of walking through what they're doing. I mean, this is just, don't use these types of things. Don't use these types of extensions. Only use very, very rock solid. And the reality of the matter is, if you go down and look for different extensions and add-ons and things, like, for example, like Privacy Badger was there. So let's go ahead and look for more add-ons, and I'll show you what the problem is here. So if I go up over here and I do Ad Blocker, okay, look at this. You know that most of these things that say Ad Blocker, almost all of these are malware. Almost all of them. uBlock Origin, if it's really uBlock Origin, because there's uBlock Origin, which is technically mu-block Origin. That is a mu, not a u. It is a Greek letter. There's another one that says u in it. Oh, so this one says mu. I don't know which one's the real one. I haven't a clue. I don't know. I'm not even going near these things. I don't know. Oh, this one, don't use this one. This is by Raymond Hill. I don't know who this is. This one down here is uBlock.co. Why is this one so low in the list and this one's so high? Do I need to go on fire again, people? Do I need to go on fire again? Don't use these stupid add-ons and extensions. Come up with other things, man. Come up with other things. And malware, ransomware is back. So this was Costco, not Walmart Costco, or not like Sam's Club competitor Costco, but the China Ocean Shipping Co. Their terminal port on Long Beach was hit by cyber attack, which basically shut down all of their shipping U.S. or U.S. operations. It wasn't hit internationally, but I don't know. Is that related to Costco? I don't know. I said that without realizing it. Is this China Ocean Shipping Co. related to Costco, the club grocery store? Can somebody answer that for me? I have no idea. My apologies. But basically, it was malware, or it wasn't malware. It was a ransomware attack. So just a reminder, people, keep off-site, offline backups of everything. Have a regular time, regular day, regular whatever when you're doing your backups. So you make sure that you're not losing sensitive data. That's where I officially have all of my Office backups. All my Office backups, they're all in a safety deposit box. Off-site, locked in a bank vault. Fairly safe over there. We're going to save our last fun story, our exciting LOL story for later. All right. Bullies are narcissists. Okay. Wow. Like 1% of the 120 billion lost. Yeah, I know. Somebody play a tune on a violin for Mark Schmuckerberg. Mark Stevens, greetings. Caught you live. Did you get my message? Doesn't matter. You're already one step ahead. I thought I saw a message from you. Did I respond to it yet? I looked at it very briefly. I didn't get a chance to read it all the way. I wasn't quite comprehending what you're saying, but I didn't read it all the way. So I'll have to go back and look at it. How's Bluetooth not secure? Specifics. I will have the article in there. You can read their blog post. It has to do with how the two signals reach each other and make their initial handshake. It's possible to get in the middle and do a man-in-the-middle attack. I don't remember all the details. So what you do is, that doesn't mean you never use Bluetooth, but it does mean on your devices, keep Bluetooth turned off until you need it. So I keep it turned off, and then when I need it, I'll turn it on. It's not Windows 10, it's Windows NSA. That's right. It's purposely installing updates at the worst times. Yeah, they're machine learning. Pretty soon they're going to do like a 10% population test. What happens when we restart this thing right when he's working on that document, right before it's saved? Yep. My mind's set for 2 a.m. Why don't they just use a stupid clock? That would make sense. Windows 10 does at least give you more granular control on this. Real Linux Hour. Or is it Horde? I don't know. For the Horde! Okay, I've been watching you live and other video. Missed all day. Hope you had a good power nap. I had a good power nap. Did you? I mean, I don't know about my power nap, but the kitty is down here power napping. Right, kitty, you're power napping, aren't you? Yes, you are. No, kitty, I'm not. I messed with the camera. I gotta get it right again. Go back to sleep. I woke up the kitty. Go back to sleep, buddy. Go back to sleep. I'll wake you up when it's time for your kitty treats. You'll know, trust me. Going back to MX Linux, do Ubuntu's failure to take security vulnerability seriously. Yeah. Control for who? You or the NSA? The NSA, they have a lot of granular control over Windows 10. Yep. God for Linux, Jesus is already here. They're all going to be arguing about who is the biggest. Why? Kind of isolated off, even booted at the moment. Not even booted at the moment, yeah. Know when you're on your 12th beer, so I scheduled an update when you go for a whiz and passed out as usual. Yep. Take a nap, Dave. I'm rebooting now. Don't like it mainly due to MS business practices either. A love-hate relationship with Linux for years, but now it's just all love. Yep. Rocky road, but Linux has come such a long way. Yep. Yes, it has. This Bluetooth error was also already proven to be used with a new device around $250 to be able to spoof GPS navigation. Oh, is that what that one was? I think I covered that story last week. I didn't know it was related to that particular vulnerability. This is how Mint handles this. I expect the next Linux Mint point release, they'll go with Debian base. Hoping this route leads me to my burning questions for Tom. Yeah. Well, I think, Mark, the security vulnerability you're talking about, which is a serious one, is that if an Ubuntu computer goes into a suspend mode and you pull out the hard drive, you can access the system with any password and see whatever is actively in the memory. And that is seriously a big concern. It'd be curious to know if that's already patched with Mint, because they do take security and privacy a little bit more seriously. A HAL 2000 update is needed. Dave, this conversation can't serve any more purpose, Dave. Go get your coffee. Don't come back for an hour, Dave. I'm restarting. Staying with Mint 18.3 or 19? I'm staying with 18.3 for now. Download uBlock off its official site. Dare I ask, which is its official site? You leaving, Carbon? See ya. Unless you're saying bye to somebody else. I don't remember. So, see ya. Pretty reasonable. The data mining doesn't bother me. It stays in check and just for diagnostics and improving the OS only. But very minimal. Doing lately is writing emails to open source developers, thanking them for their work. I'm hoping this will inspire open source developers to keep doing a great job. That's good, Pizza. And that is something that you as a young person can easily do. That's an awesome step. The correct one of what Tom pointed out could be malware. Yeah. Then for the developer of Google Play Music desktop player, which is an open source Google Play Music client. Very cool. Keep Bluetooth enabled on my stupid phone, otherwise wouldn't work with my Forester. Well, you can just switch it on while you hit the car and switch it off when you're off. That's kind of a pain, but start pushing people to see how far they can push people to take it. They already know full well when the worst time is to update the system they choose every time. Yep. How could I use Instagram with our mindset? By putting one little small isolated part of your brain into it, I guess. I don't know. Have I heard the joke about the wall? No. Thoughts on DNS leaks? Sometimes DNS can leak pretty good, you know. 48 watching, yep. There's a shout out to Noah's videos. Check out Noah's videos. Only a baker after all. Hey, you know. Saw Peppermint 9 on the new laptop today. Looked at Windows 10, was on it. Thought this was too much of a pain in the butt to maintain and configure. Linux is so much simpler. Yeah. Be right back. Need a coffee break. Uh-oh, Present Arms. We won't see you again. Your computer's going to reboot. Good evening, Smeek. How are you? I'm doing well. To flip Satan's OS. I'll be right back later. Wind blows. All right, are we ready for our last article of the evening? Our last article of the evening. This is just under the category of... Burglar wakes up couple to ask to use their Wi-Fi network. He needed network access because he was out of data. Apparently, he tried this a couple times. 60-year-old couple in Palo Alto got an unpleasant surprise on Sunday when they woke up in the middle of the night to find a masked intruder in their bedroom. He said he wanted to use the couple's Wi-Fi network. See, here's the biggest problem with California. You guys in California don't have castle doctrine, okay? Castle doctrine is very important because here in the grand state of Pennsylvania, if some masked guy wakes me up in the middle of the night and asks to use my Wi-Fi, I'm going to shoot him. And then I'm going to call the police and have some paddy wagon come and scrape the corpse off my carpet. Because we got castle doctrine. You enter my house without my consent wearing a mask in the middle of the night, you're leaving in a body bag, sir. You're going to have a 115 grain 9mm bullet through your head. Lordy, these people are too nice, though. Yelled at the guy to get him out. Palo Alto police declined to name the 17-year-old suspect because he was a minor. Come on, man, name him. At least do a video on the world's stupidest criminal. He was arrested for burglary, a felony, as well as misdemeanor charges of prowling. He was also arrested for providing false information to a police officer. According to police, he didn't know that his phone had his phone betrayed him. He initially lied about his identity when he was apprehended. The intruder had gotten into the house by cutting a screen covering in an open window in the side yard, according to the police statement. Remarkably, this wasn't the subject's only legally dubious attempt to get Wi-Fi access that weekend. Just before midnight the previous night, police say the same young man was found prowling around outside another Palo Alto home where the house's residents came out and confronted him. He asked to use their Wi-Fi network because he was out of data. They told him to get lost and he rode away on a bike that turned out to be stolen from their backyard. Police were able to recover the bike from the suspect following the second burglary, and he may face an additional charge for stealing the bike. Promoted comment. This might be the first recorded case of police finding a stolen bike. Oh, God. I'm out of data. Can I use your Wi-Fi? I could say comments about that, but there's minors watching. I'm just, yeah. Kitty. The world has gone crazy. Masked weirdos are going to come in here and ask to use the Wi-Fi, okay? You just bite them when they come in. All right, kitty? Lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. This is the official GitHub repo for uBlock. It's a download to the bottom of the README. Very cool. Sorry for my poor WD Black hard drive. It doesn't deserve this. There's a copy of 98 running well next to me. Only in Palo Alto. This is like when like modern snobby children just go way too far. We need more Wi-Fi access, man. I'm out of internet. I need your Wi-Fi. The cat's looking at me like I've lost my ever-loving mind. Just remote into it and sag in, get the images need for the tutorials doing now. Don't call the police because they will arrest you. There's a lot of woods in PA. Nah, hiding the bodies, that. I don't know. Alright. Impressed. Tom got the bullet weight correct. While I reload my ammunition, I better well know what I'm using. And by the way, my rounds are filled with shotgun powder rather than pistol powder. I use green dot in my bullets. They are 119 grain with green dot powder. Moral of the story, don't get shot by my bullets. California's a fly before fire state, not standard ground. Well, the thing, yes, they are that, but they also don't have castle doctrine. That means if somebody breaks into your house, the only way in California you're allowed to use deadly force is if somebody attempts deadly force on you first. You may retaliate. Here in Pennsylvania, and most other states for that matter, the castle doctrine is in effect, which says if somebody is in your house under suspicious context, particularly at night, you shoot first and ask questions later because it's presumed that he's there to harm you. And so that's the thing. NSA flew over my house and put their code in my router. I still have the router if you would like it. Only found out when Snowden came forward because the Wi-Fi signal come up Prism. That's scary. In order to do tutorials for Windows, I kind of need to be screenshots of the actual Windows environment. By TechSmith. Same people that make Camtasia video editing software. Someone came into my house and wanted to use my Wi-Fi. My 2 boxer English bulldogs would bite their face off. There you go. My year of birth spooked me out for a while. No one believes me, though, but I still can't have evidence if you'd like to look at it because I can't get the firmware off of it. Wow. Millennials suck. Gen Z at least have motivation and some responsibility. We're not paying for it. It's $50. I think it's just one time. That's not so bad. Oh, found the super cookie too. Ted Roosevelt. Greetings, Ted. How's it going there? Some random guy wakes me up to use the Wi-Fi. He's getting knocked upside the head. Also, Jaguar the Catfish says hi to CJ. Hi, Jaguar. How are you? Are you tasty? You're a fish. Do I recommend Ubuntu? I don't like some of the directions they're going. I'm not like totally against it, but there's other distros I'd rather use. Same thoughts. Snagit a lot of smaller images because I can focus on objects or specific regions. Burglar established a Twigus operandi, methinks. Actually, a lot more enhanced. It gives me steps. I can little annotations that are built in. I find my IR fan view program lets me blur images for free. There you go. Someone came to my room asking for Wi-Fi. I'd throw my broken tablet Nexus and then hit them in the face. There you go. Gotta get you a trial. Do I recommend Shredder app? I'm not familiar with Shredder app. Let me look that one up. Sounds like it's something like... yeah, it's kind of like a wipe function. You can accomplish. I think you can do that with BleachBit. I think can do that. Tails can for sure as well. Yeah, I mean, good idea. Just don't use a Shredder application on an SSD. It will kill it. Using Fedora with a GNOME a little lately. Kitty, stop licking me. Kitty's like, dude, I'm going to lick right here. If something else is in my way. Ubuntu Mate is excellent, as well as Mint 19 and MX Linux. What do you think of DigiMe? That seems familiar to me. I don't remember what that one is, but it seems familiar to me. Oh, that seems positively frightening. DigiMe lets your social media content work for you by bringing it together in one place under your control. No, thank you. If you were Jesus, would you want to be Tom? What? I wouldn't want to be Jesus. I'm not sure I could take that task onto my hands. Take control of your data by letting us see it. That's right. Take control of your data. Gen Z, the powerhouse of memes. Sudo shred v. Huh, I didn't know shred was a terminal command. That's exciting. Oh, looks like Toss is on, I think. Yep, Toss is on. So we're going to go ahead and call our 2 or 3 minute warning on the end here. And we're going to go ahead and feed something that looks really cute. And then we'll go ahead and wrap up, and I'll jump on over there if I get the chance. Oh, kitty. Oh, kitty. Oh, kitty. Here, everyone likes it when you stick your paw in there. You want to stick your paw in there? Go on, buddy. Get it out. Oh, he's got the paw thing going. Go on, you can do it. You can do it. Go on. You got it. You can do it. Oh, you got it. You got it. Oh, yeah, there you go. And one over here for the camera. Aww. And one down here for this camera. Here. But please get off my keyboard. Get off my keyboard. Good boy. Yeah. All right. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Are they finger looking good today? Of course they're finger looking good. Yeah. He still smells like pesticide, but I haven't seen nearly as many fleas on him. All right. I find Ubuntu derivatives better than Ubuntu itself. It's like others take good idea to improve on it. All right. Is Fedora considered bleeding edge like Arch? It is close to... It's closer than Debian, but not quite as much as Arch. You've seen the video, some Americans are ignorant and proud of it. No, I haven't. That sounds exciting, though. Past certain point, bleach bit becomes dangerous, really unnecessary. Smart kitty, unlike your virtual girlfriend cat, spends most of the time under the bed. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump off. I'm going to drop Toss's stream in over there. I'm going to jump over there if I get the chance, and I will catch you guys later. Once again, don't forget to help support the channel. Check out the links in the description down below. You can check me out at SwitchedtoLinux.com/support for get more specific information on how to support. You can grab a nice water bottle to clear the summer heat over there at shop.switchedtolinux.com, and there is a Patreon page, patreon.com/TomM. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.